The lucky charm is back, guys. Indian lucky charm. चलो जिताना है भाई, जिताना है इंडिया को, जिता आ जाओ भाई, जी को जिताना है। ए बेस की टैट जी, इंडिया को जिताना, आ जाओ। शर्म है तुम लोगों को? मेरे बिना तुम ना देख रहे केले के लिए बैठ के। पैथेटिक बाबा, पैथेटिक बाबा। पैट्रिक हु, पैट्रिक हु, पैट्रिक हु। आज मानना पड़ेगा पैट्रिक भाई, शोधना पड़ेगा पैट्रिक भाई आज। पैट्रिक हु।
Performances from Global on split.
Hello, madam.
Hand,
how are
they were facing
you?
teams that were making really strange mistakes when Global was on defense, and of course Global completely capitalized on that. Now you're going against the Drx, who's very honed, looking very sharp, and they have a lot of protocol in place that, you know, they won't be making the same mistakes. In theory. So
I mean, I just want to see GE play a little bit better and pick up some rounds and see the best out of these individual players. They've got a very interesting looking roster. You didn't see anything, unfortunately, from them on towards the Ascent game, which Drx flicked against them. Here is their map pick, and indeed we will see them actually allowed to start on defense by Drx. Drx is picking the attacking side, and they are once again playing double duelist. You're going to get Marco over onto the Viper instead of Australia, which is interesting because Viper is a very comfortable role for Australia. He's going to be playing the Omen instead. I would not have picked that as the pairing of the controllers.
Yeah, that seems like an interesting way round for me. Across on the side of GE, they're sticking with Deadlock Cypher. This is a style that this team have been running for a long time. I do think Deadlock is underused, to be honest, so I like that they're trying to make it work, but they need to be stronger than it was in that Ascent game, because I didn't feel like they managed to get much value out of the Deadlock there.
all right, well, this game is very important for Global Esports. Can they shake off and reset what just happened and bring it back for split? We're going to send it back to our casters, Achilles and Paperthin.
Thank you very much. Yes, let's see if they're going to be able to have that recovery. It's been talked about ad nauseum. When you get blown out on an opening map, a lot easier to recover compared to playing a much closer kickoff when they were able to recover after you know, a loss on Abyss.
Yeah, to DFM, yeah.
And they were able to rally back. So they've shown that they have the capability of it. We know the quality of player that they do have. One of the things that we need to be seeing is a bit more confidence from them. But already, first blood going to be found. Flashback taking down Patrick Hu. But very much goes the way of Global. I could have called it the Battle of Mid. Missed opportunity.
Ooh.
Nice one.
Patrick Hu had it right there in the palm of your hand.
Mid push कर रहे public.
Absolutely beefed it.
Papi chill.
एक
peek मत लो.
Quite a bit of damage here. 3 peaks.
पकड़ो.
Just going to be picked up.
डाल लो.
The paint shell.
Low.
Thrown it.
Low.
We'll be able to find one more elimination. Stray and Mako.
Heaven.
Their way up the forward into
दिख गए दोनों दिख गए.
Can go ahead and smoke off Garage, so they know that they've got 2 players
आंदो Cypher भाई.
in Garage. And they have a pretty good suspicion of Yudotan as well.
And Mako's trying to find Yudotan. It's going to be onto Estrella to watch these 2 players at Garage. Tough challenge for him. Still has a paranoia though. Haunt being thought about.
Cover going out. Not spotting. Estrella trying to line up these shots. Eventually he's able to find it there with the final bullet. Mako
Let's go. बैठो तुम लोग clear करके आए.
Last one left. Here's the footsteps. He's approaching in from behind there, not watching for it at all. Mako striking, gets him off the spike. The push.
Let's go! Let's go!
Just able to find the headshot before
Urta
Mako
tir.
gets back around the other side of the pillar.
मस्ती तुम
He
लोगों
gets
की
that little maneuver off.
lucky charm is here, guys.
But instead it's going to be Global
India का
picking up
lucky
the first
charm
triple
is
win.
here.
Oh yeah, Mako there went around the world.
DRX with घर पे.
Almost stole this round away. Player advantage in mid there for GE, and they're able to capitalize. Win the 2v1. An exchange there for Hyunmin. Like you said, sitting on that paint shells, I thought maybe you could throw it to delay it a little bit, but have to just go for the fight. Yudotan, a huge win there. A big morale boost for Global Esports.
Rare missed a clutch attempt there from Mako, but you're pointing it out. Yeah, there's an outlaw play with full armor behind it here for Hyunmin.
Hold the phone.
Mako playing as the selfless IGL.
भाई B-man पे बैठो आप लोग.
They're just waiting
भाई outlaw लिया.
here, but Nebula goes up. Poppy
भाई पापी
maybe
चलो
having
भाई
some kind of sneaking
अरे मैं
suspicion that
कुछ
there's
नहीं
going to be a
बोल
little bit more firepower behind here.
रीड है तीन लोग ए पे रीड तो है भाई लोग की
Just be that selfless. The gentle giant gives the gun over to his teammates.
It's not only that, but also Flashback has full armor.
That's
दम
true.
है तो तोड़ भाई
Maybe it's in case Hyunmin
दम
dies,
है
so they
तो
have
तोड़
somebody
के
else
दिखा
that can pick up the ammo and
हुंडाई
have full armor.
दम है
That
तो
could
पकड़ के
be.
दिखा
Or they just want them to
हुंडाई
be able to survive
पकड़
if
लिया
he
तो
slides
छोड़
forward in
दूंगा
the face of somebody.
सिंडाई
Yeah.
Split.
Maybe it's just, you know,
Hyundai?
using the neon as
पैट्रिक
the living drone.
पैट्रिक
Try to break through. Look at these trips,
पैट्रिक
though. That one right there, that's kind of sight. Really tricky.
यार पैट्रिक जीतना पड़ेगा यार
That as well.
क्रिस्टल भाई क्रिस्टल
That's,
क्लियर मारो
Something
शांटे
a lot
मारो
of the
सालों
ciphers
को।
have been talking about. Foxy9 was talking about it the other day in the post-match interview. Yudotan is going to
उड़ता
fight Mako.
तीर उड़ता ही फिर
He's gone too.
So considering the swing out, but will just be Hyunmin
अब
down
उससे कैसे
three.
मर गया
Does manage to
पिस्तौल
find
से?
and trade back.
पैट्रिक भाई पैट्रिक को भाई मैं इधर आपकी
Yes,
ऑरा बना रहा हूँ
maybe
आप
the game
अपनी
plan is going
ऑरा का
as
लोरा
they
कर रही हो
had
उधर
hoped here is Flashback. Oh,
Timing.
snatch that up.
चल इसमें मैंने
That's
देखा
going to fall short here. Not able to find
1000
too
पी में
much.
देखा 1080p में
Flashback scopes in, gets the shot, but
Nice one.
now Spike on the floor.
Leo!
Flashback hounded down, and it is just Estrella. Try to see if we can get anything done. Smoke blooming the plant. Just going to be stuck. Hands and Spike going to be seen, so Poppy able to go ahead
Domination
and collect that one. So
ikkade.
two casualties on the side of Global Esports, but they also say, well, thanks to the Outlaw.
Yeah. Oh, that puts you in a
चलो
really
गाइस
tricky position.
फ्लैशबैक
as
को
DRX.
फ्लैशबैक करके याद रखो
Trying
मैं
to
देख
get
रहा
those
था
full
मैच
armors,
उधर
knowing
से
that your opponent's gonna have that outlaw.
12-4 हाँ
And with
13-4.
some of the players investing extra cash into that round, you're going to be able to come through with at least 3 rifles.
चलो मैं आ गया
See what
तुम
it
लाना
looks
कोड़ा
like
रहो
behind that.
ओम बूम बुश
Couple with full armor.
जी ओम बूम बुश
Okay, so yeah, a sheriff in full
DRX
armor,
की
and then
फटके
Hyunmin's
चार हो
just
जाए,
gonna have
bush.
the light armor.
DRX की हार जाए बुश
So if you're gonna run
DRX.
that outlaw as Hyunmin, well,
On, oh,
Oh
my
my
god.
अरे को मारता
Hell of a reveal. Something about DRX and just not clearing scan utility versus Filipino teams. Shoutouts to Secret on Haven from years ago. Freeing able to find one flashback does get taken down. Crystal able to come away with that. This cage gets popped. Oh, missing each other like ships in the night. Yutan trying to double back
अरे
in.
क्या
Trey
छुपन
is
छुपाई खेल रहे तुम
for
लोग
the
दोनों
alpha. Things start getting away from them just a little bit, but Kelly S arriving. Finds one.
3v3 easy retake
Getting a minor grab there on Mako. 3v3 and further damage found.
Nice shot.
Very solid. And there you go. Poppy able to
Nice
find
shot.
one, finds two now. In a position to go ahead and just close out the round.
Let's go मैं बोला ला कि charm is here
Not sure which way to aim. Global. They're going to
Kar
convert this
jayega.
bonus. 3-0
Kar
start here on
jayega.
Split. And that's the rally back we're talking about.
yeah, this is just so nice. I mean, the timing on that haunt just gives everything away for DRX, and they're immediately trying to find their flanks. Are Global Esports. Crystal, oh, unbelievable. With the classic, just steps out and finds one. Yudotan, it was everybody, all hands on deck for DRX to make sure he was cleaned out. Poppy, so good in moments like this. And then able to double face there right as the poison cloud is dissipating. Really nicely drawn up by GE. A bunch of stingers for the side of DRX, full rifles, couple ults as well. Annihilation and the Cosmic Divide if necessary for GE.
नहीं देखा इसकी बैंड का ये
Behind, so Kelly is able to come away with a free one.
टैप 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 110
Side damage dealt. Starting to get overwhelmed, but still going to be
NTO.
good for another kill. Mako tries
Let's
to
go!
step forward, tries to catch Crystal off guard. Wise to it.
हो गया इसकी
Picks him up
लगा दो तुम लालो घुस जाओ
Trying to reposition TPs into its backside. Scoops with the Vandal, the pressure being applied. Estrella out, last one alive. 1v2 with Crystal low on HP. Nearly
Let's go!
lining up here for him, but
उड़ता ही फिरू
last alive.
उड़ता ही
That
फिरू
4-0 start.
उड़ता
So
ही
we're seeing-
फिरू
so what we were
उड़ता
seeing
भाई
from
उड़ता भाई
DRX on ascent.
Yeah, and
कबूतर उड़ा
They try to
उड़ा
go for the fast hit.
चिड़िया उड़ी उड़ी
just doesn't
तोता
check
उड़ा
that corner.
उड़ा
it's a trade and then a gun upgrade for DRX.
लास्ट को ओमन भी उड़ा उड़ा खत्म
Everybody else from the side of GE is quick to get over here. Great work
Shot.
by Crystal, being aware that somebody could be pushed up. I think freeing their wide swung outside of the drop rope from B Tower, where if he had tried to
थोड़ा
isolate that
tense
fight,
सा
I think he
दिखे।
could have done a little bit more in that situation, but maybe just didn't anticipate that there was going to be everybody, you know, 2 players, because they had already seen the Rays blast pack past them
किधर पुश
towards
कर
where the
रहे
spike
लोग
was coming out of
मिड पुश
alley.
कर रहे balls will happen
DRX
to be honest balls will happen guys
seemingly not quite as in tune with this different double duelist that we're seeing here with the Rays and the Neon. Haven't quite really seen it find some of those big hit moments, some of those fast combos that
मार दे नेड मार दे
put
मेरी
players
जान
off balance and get some freebies.
पटरिकू
Position
Patriku.
Bit of an all-in spot here from him. Slowly
Patri हूँ
slink back
उनकी
over into vent before the
उनकी
nebula
पटरी है
dissipates, so keeps himself
मार
safe
दे रे भाई
before the
मार दे रे
ball.
भाई मार दे रे भाई लियो लियो कर दे पकड़ के
Slow
गम
here
गम
from
गम
side
गम मार दे
DRX.
पैट्रिक कसम से बोल रहा हूँ एक एस मार दे
Have to suspect
खड़ा हुआ था भाई गन मेरी
not being able to
आह,
find
मजा आया
win here. It's going to be the likely
फंस
call
गया
of a
फंस गया फंस गया
timeout.
एमएमएस
Mako
बन गया तेरा
not going to get darted here by the camera.
कान जाता छोटे
Oh, tries to
छोटे
get alongside the
where
wall,
are
but
you
cannot
going
get
छोटे
Quick to go ahead and find that punish now. The knife
Ah!
it's going to be the tripwire off the
Leo.
back. Rifle damage to find the kill.
Leo.
Trying to just desperately TP forward. but
easy
It's cut down to size.
Ah.
Not connecting Crystal.
Crystal
The headshot
clear.
does. 5-0 here for Global Esports.
I have to think
मारो
we're going to see a
मारो
timeout from Germany.
मारो 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 मारो
Sticking.
Oh boy. I mean, you
मारो
gotta
इनकी मारो
kind of rethink some of these ideas.
टप से
There's some micro mistakes that are costing you.
पट
And then
से अरे हटता
Flashback just decides, okay, well,
अरे
I'm gonna
नहीं।
turn up the tempo. But there's all
Triple
that
knock.
util that's in front of him. Not only the
मारो।
nightfall, the
मजा आ रहा है
cyber stuff.
देखने यही जी मिक्स
You have everything you
Well,
want to
की
slow that
चाल
hit
हूँ
down
मेरी
as
जान।
Global
क्या
Esports. And
समझ रहे
DRX just kind of
ऐसी नहीं आता मैं
running right
हॉच
through
पार्टी
it.
करता हूँ
So
जी जीतती
I
ऋषि
mean,
सर को
DRX
भेजो ये
was
क्लिप
absolutely phenomenal on
ये
Ascent.
भाई गन फंस गया है क्या
Global
उन्हें
Esports looks phenomenal here on Split. Still sitting on Annihilation and a
कहीं कोई टैग ग्रुपिंग भाई
Estrella, good for one.
All going to be sent, but
पापी भाई समझ में नहीं आया
a
यार
little bit of a whip. It does not cut off Garage. Mako lurking.
मार दिया
Readjust.
रे
Second shot connects. Kelly S on the floor. And Mako says, yep, I'm satisfied with that. Reroutes back through sewer. It's going to be a world away from the rest of his team, but given the player advantage, be relatively safe. And now Global Esports constantly have to be looking over their shoulders for this Viper.
Spike planted. Them down.
You're going to use that
देख कैसा
Teo
रे
util to try to keep people at bay, allow Estrella
मारना
shift over
पड़ता है
to
इन लोगों
Garage, but he's kind of turning his attention back and forth, timing.
को नाइस शॉट
Again, Patrick Hu able to win out the fight. Showstopper is
हो जाए अल्ट हो
online.
जाए
There's still, against some weaker weaponry. Does he decide to pull the trigger on this ultimate? The drop down, Yudatan's going to be felled there. Swinging from Hyunmin, finding another. Now it's all down to Patrick Hu. Freeing, just able to escape. The paint shell going to go his way. Swings forward, ends up dying.
एंटी रे पैट्रिक हु पैट्रिक हु
Maybe it would be
एंटी
clutchable, but
मेरी यार
DRX will be able to find their first round victory here on this
हमें
attack.
खिला दो
Well, it really seems like quick decision making is the name of the game here for DRX on their attacker side on Split. It's just that opening kill
ठीक है
onto the B side. I mean, there was one in mid, of course, as well with Mako, but once Estrella found that kill on site, it is just everybody rush through, get in there and take that
भाई
space,
पापी भाई मैं
scale
समझ में नहीं आया यार
forward,
क्या कर रहे थे आप
and get ready for
पापी
the
भाई to be
plant.
honest I support you
They're just
but
barely
what
able to
was
get
done?
through it. There was
यार
hope there
आयरन
for
लॉबी में भी
Patrick
एंगल
Hu.
पकड़ के बैठते हैं
A
दल्ले
lot of
लोग
players weak. Use the Teho utility to clear the corner, Boombot to clear front. Immediately, a
ये
couple
लोग ही
players from
कभी कैसे है
GE
भाई
trying to tuck in. They're on a
जीते
weaker
हैं
bye already after winning 5 in a row.
Mako.
फंस गया फंस गया फंस गया
That's going to be a weapon picked up.
शॉट
Finds Estrella. The rest of the team trying to push their way forward here. Into the side, flashback. Barely able to go ahead and draw out the weapon, stabilize. To find that kill. Showstopper going to be sent. Flips the corner of the pillar.
किधर मारा
Still not found for there. Things now grinding to a
इधर ही
halt.
मार देता इससे अच्छा तो
3v3 with flashback dangerously low.
Just are you going to check this corner?
Drop down. Solid damage dealt. It's
Shot.
going to be a timing from Udatan. Showstopper sent up into heaven. Finds it.
Anyone?
Puppy is there
Anyone?
now. Comes down to flashback.
अरे उसका वो नहीं है
Probably has no idea.
It's going to be left guessing. He's playing it patiently, but flashback and just sit tight. Here's the footsteps now. Catches a glimpse of him. No, he's not gonna be going for any kind of defuse, so finds the headshot
Andy.
to be able to go ahead and drag this round across the line. The RX, a second one.
अबे रेज अल्ट मारता है
Absolutely scrappy there. Yudotan.
यार रेज का अल्ट था रे
job.
वो मारता
Again,
ना
GE
खत्म
always is coming at you in pairs.
ये
So
तो
I
बहुत
really
easy
like the
था
way that they're focusing on the teamwork here on this defender's side. Yudotan had a tremendous round, just got clipped by that showstopper. So he tried to back out around the
अच्छा
corner.
थोड़ा इधर उधर जाता ना हो जाता था
Great patience shown by Flashback. Cutting sound, waiting that out, using it against his opponents very, very
क्या
nicely.
world divided भाई
Really early cosmic
अच्छा अपने वाला है
bind.
क्या हाँ
This is
world divided world divided
Your danger
world divided
sense is
world
tingling.
divided
What the heck is this?
Well, stray shots over towards Yudotan and Flashback, barrel stuffing, a spot out.
अरे वो गन
As-
गई बाहर गई गन
I
अरे कमबैक हो गया रे वो लोग
I'm not sure.
Slayer standing.
Flaw.
Onto charges.
It feels like there should be some kind of set play off the back of that, and DRX was just
flawless कर दिए क्या
I thought there was going to be like more aggressive positioning, scaling forward into mid, trying to get that control.
and be garage because it cut off through there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
But then it didn't. I don't know. I can see if there's some kind of plan behind it. Maybe they just couldn't execute it for some reason. Maybe there was some piece of util that slowed things up that they weren't expecting. I'm not sure.
yeah. Well, not sure about the cook on this one.
Recipe needs a little work.
Yeah. That being said, though, it's going to be a third round pickup for the side of DRX as they try to streak their way back into this game. Global Esports still
मार
in a
मार
solid
निकल के
enough
मार किली
position as
साले को किली तेरे पीछे किली तेरे पीछे
and
साला
freeing, missing each other just a bit.
फट्टबल के हेडशॉट मार उसको मजा आया था फ्रीइंग को
Should be nothing that comes of that. The big problem here for GE is that
ऐसे
you're
क्या लोग
forking over the
बस
economy game because of that. So they're anticipating aggression. It just doesn't come in the spots that they're expecting. They try to slow push through that wall, and Estrella's right there.
हाय हाय
Well, it is what it is. But the concern now is that you're back on an eco. You're going to have a judge and one hero rifle. Pockets are getting a little bit deeper for DRX. Still have a couple ults to work with too. Annihilation though for Kelly S. Could find some value here. There's 3 players stacked right outside of B. We're looking for some kind of trap play, I think, off this grab net.
खींच ले
You could do like
Eko, खींच
grab
ले.
net into gravity well, into paint shells. It could be really annoying for DRX.
Does have that annihilation
Race
on
को
the
अल्टेगा
back as
अपने
well.
True.
हाँ ये
So yeah, I mean, you can see he's waiting to try to spring this trap. Question is, does anybody from DRX really fall into it?
Yo.
He's gonna go ahead and swing onto the corner. The paint shell now gonna be lobbed in. Hyunmin gonna be able to find one. The net being removed. It is gonna be DRX who are able to trade up as Kelly S also gets taken down. Patrick Koo able to avoid getting stunned.
अरे
Flashback from
भाई,
sprinting at him.
लाओ
Fingers in play. Crystal brings that to a very quick close. That judge, but then has to reposition. Needs quite a bit of damage. Down to 47. Now going to be caught out in range there by Estrella.
NT. If
Not
Udatan
last
bike
one alive,
does
no
clutch
weapons
on this
recoverable here for him.
I don't think you'd use
Find any
the
real
pit.
value.
अगर क्लच
Here.
किया ना
Yeah.
मैं नंगा नाचूंगा नंगा
Oh,
स्ट्रीम
no,
पे
you-
स्ट्रीम
you
पे
don't.
बोल रहा हूँ
Please don't.
तो मेरे बाल इतने गंदे कैसे लैग हो रहा
Okay, does manage to
कैमरा
find
लैग हो रहा
one.
क्या
Has to
नहीं हो रहा
reload it though, and on the jiggle peak knows that he's dead. 4 to 5. Thrifty not coming to fruition. Global Esports still in with an opportunity to go back into a buy round. Get back into the driver's seat here and establish a dominant half.
Yeah, I like the ideas early. Oh, they're able to clear that annihilation. Great use of the Tejo util to clear the back of pillar to get that judge out of there. I was kind of wondering, I quickly scanned towards the util once that judge was identified, how DRX was going to be able to handle it. By the time I saw, the salvos were already out from freeing. So little things like that, protocols that DRX has, so good. Kelly S to get ahead of that smoke.
फिर इसको मार दिए रे साले
A little bit of damage towards Patrick, who, again, DRX, so happy to
Oh.
catch this.
अबे
Oh my
कैसे how the
Right.
hell Brasky
Just brutality.
स्पैम वैम में लड़ना बंद करो भाई
Clearly,
लकी चाम का लक
what they've
काम
been
नहीं कर
drilling
रहा
is
है बोल के मत
Smockers
बोलो
been
तुम
teaching
लोग वो लोग
everybody
थ्रो
how to
कर
get
रहे
kills through smokes.
God. Yeah, that's true.
केलिस भाई देख
Speaking
नहीं
of
भाई
Mako,
लकी चाम का काम कर रहा है
Ted
क्रिस्टल
over
भाई
here. continuously noted.
पार्टी
in this
बदल लिया
A main
साला
position.
मैं ऐसे
Should know it's B
Sure.
though. With that Prowler not finding anyone, even sends out a second. But DRX
Gotta make him think.
ahead of the
at least.
game, yeah.
क्या रे उछल ले तो यार बंदर
Footstep
मारता
noise.
देख टपली
That
मारता
Crystal
रुक
stayed there. Might have gotten
बंदर
wise
जैसे
to it, but he backed off, so
न करके गया
We'll stay tucked away.
wow, timings.
कहीं भी छोड़ो शॉट
Say going to be
हटा
the
दो
major hurdle that they have.
फंस
to
गया
leap,
फंस
and that
गया
ball's gonna go across. It's gonna connect on the damn near all of them. Quick reveal out, but Paint Chills pushes him away from the window.
साइफर रहना था रे
Pushes him back deeper into heaven. There's the spike now. Just trying to assess, it
4v4
seems, where they really want to plant this.
Is it
Sits in the
possible,
back
guys?
corner. Bring
Is
off
it
the back
possible?
of this. Does have that Armageddon now online.
क्या बोलती पब्लिक पॉसिबल है
Towards
गाइस
screens. That's gonna filter everyone
चारों हेवन
in towards heaven now, and they're gonna be filling screens on the
Nice
back.
one.
Zeno's unable to find the first, however. Estrella finding back, finding two. Cineral depth.
Ow!
Ring does not matter. Does not care about that. Finds the final two kills, and we are tied up at 5-5.
Just again, brilliant back row stuff from DRX where they're able to get the read. You know, Mako dies, a couple Prowlers go out, and Mako is like aware that, you know what, maybe this is actually the weaker side potentially. They've been getting a little bit of contact over in the other parts of the map. They probably think this is B off of just the solo kill onto Mako. Let's rotate back over to A, and it is 100% the right
टाइम आउट
call.
तो लेना पड़ेगा ना गाइस
It's things like that that are really showing
टाइम आउट ले लो तुम लोग तब तक अरे
how much progress Mako has made as an IGL and how just smart this whole squad is. The coaching staff so well
आज क्या है मैच
prepared
मसला
for their opponents.
तुम लोग बोलो आज मेरे
Gee,
ख्याल
what
से
looked like it was going to be
MI will win
maybe
I
another
want MI
fast
to win,
map,
bro.
send it over to map 3.
जाए यार
It's now
ऊपर
all
जाए
of a
कोई तो
sudden 5 in a row for DRX
टाइम
and it's
आईपीएल
tied
ट्रॉफी
up.
वाली जाए लॉलीपॉप
boy.
बनना जाए
Yeah, no last
विराट भाई मारेंगे
timeout call here.
विराट भाई मारेंगे
Before closing out the half, Global, I mean, if they can pick up
देव
the
तड़ी
next 2 rounds,
लियो
7-5,
तड़ी मारो तड़ी एक
I
मारो
don't feel
लेफ्ट से
too bad about that, just given this double duelist
Arey
setup from the side of CRX. They should be finding value when it comes down to the attack. You were able to deal with it so well for those first 5 rounds, and even play them close, some of the ones following up behind that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be another thrifty attempt to try to see if they can at least get to 6.
Hunman's got an outlaw again. Full armor for Patrick Hu. Everybody else will be within 1 tap range. Crystal's going to go for another judge right at the front of B door.
That's a glass cannon, judge of that. Boombot will go ahead and let him know.
Up and
Actually, that's popping up there, the sheriff.
This smoke has to be sending alarm bells in your head.
Yeah.
It's way deep.
Leave Hyunmin back around the corner. It just paint shell if they really have a strong idea of it. Looks like they don't. As goodbye. Goodbye.
Spike down.
That's the spike. Crystal not in control, and Mach. No. Once again, noted. GE, a very solid read.
नाम है मेरा मेरा नाम है तेरा तेरा नाम है तेरा तेरा नाम है मेरा
Gonna be sending out the C's nade. Looking for the grab, freeing.
नाम है मेरा मेरा
Related
Hey,
to
match
the
started.
corner slide and flashback to find one. Crystal gonna be dealt with. The salvo into the corner as well. Freeing. Flushes out Patrick Koo.
खत्म कर दी
2v3, Poppy around the corner. The sheriff gain a hand, looking for the headshot, cannot find it. Freeing just a little bit faster, but Yudotan, Stinger at that range, still able to find the damage.
पुश कर दो दोनों
It's the kill on the flashback. Now gives them a winning chance, and there you go. Kelly S. recovered Vandal, pushing forward, catches him off guard, and Global will be able to pull it off. Down in weapons and economy, but still winning out the round and getting themselves up to 6.5.
Yeah, just not really being able to sense that trap
है
where
तो कुछ करना
DRX
पड़ेगा ना ब्रो
kind of aware that maybe somebody could be in B main, but not quite aware of the weaponry that was going to be right around
Guys,
that
yeah,
corner. I
boys,
mean, a
yes,
lot of
sorry,
times the
yaar,
judge
maaf
is
karo
going to be up in,
Bad.
you know, mail or up in
Very good, yeah.
vents, things like that.
वेरी गुड
This time, it is right next to them. Good reaction, though, here to use the relay bolt into the Tejo util. At least give themselves some kind of chance. But the whole time, The whole time this battle's going on outside of garage, Kelly S is just walking through spawn after they kill Mako. He's just taking his time going on the walk. And he will find a ton of value because of that. Couple away from freeing ult, still sitting on that Viper ult for Mako, but he's been on solo duty over at A. And this time, off the rip, GE sent an extra player over. I think that maybe it could be an aggressive push. Instead, it's just the freeing flashback duo clearing through in towards mid. There's a sonic sensor that Kelly S is going to try to play off of from heaven. Gunman's got the op. They're trying to bait for him a little bit there. But the smoke goes up, and Poppy's going to reposition.
किस खुशी में ऑफ कर रहे हैं हुंडई भाई?
Tiny bit of damage there.
पर ये डेडलॉक ना नहीं
Just a bit.
नहीं है भाई वो सेंटिनल के नाम पे दबा है भाई डेडलॉक.
Any of these trap plays. And
ना उससे कुछ होता है.
Thinking about another one.
अरे
Same kind of
ऊपर
setup.
मत जाओ.
Youngman staves him off here for the first. Paint shells. Who's it? I don't think he has any clue. He does not know. You could knife.
No surprises.
He's going to wait.
Well, he's trying to see if there's anybody else pushing in this angle. There's not. He's all alone. Patrick Hu now dead in heaven.
30 seconds
Kelly S, though, continuing to play this quietly. Slowly sneaking in from behind. Now opens up here with the shots. Swings back in. Looks for a little bit more, but Straya just able to win out that fight. That could have been everything. Quick peek in from Crystal. Does go ahead and interrupt the spike plant, but they still have enough time. As Yurtan now, the 1v3. The pit could be thrown in. Mako's not in position for it, but it's the last round of the half.
Might as well.
I think he's just like, yeah, we're fine without it. Seems to be the thought process here as Yurtan now spotted. Snake bite perfectly at his feet. Fantastic bank shot. Mako will go ahead and deliver the final shot. So 6-6 at the half. Global looking a hell of a lot more alive at the beginning of this one, but then struggling. Drx finding their footing for quite some time there.
Yeah. Again, a lot of trickery that we're seeing as the half wore on and things got more difficult for GE. A few of it worked, some of it didn't. Good post-plan protocols as always for DRX. Yeah, pretty curious about this defender side now for DRX's agent composition. How aggressive are you going to be able to get with that Neon? That's a big, kind of gamble that you're taking on this map, running a Neon on it, right? Like if you can put some pressure on your opponents, if you can find some good relay bullets, find some good combos, you can take a lot of space early, find those first bloods, but it can be tricky. Seen a lot of teams try and fail to run the Neon on split. But I suppose if there's any team that can do it, it's DRX. And for global esports, a much more standard-ish comp than, kind of the double sentinel deadlock. Was that enough value on that defender side? Kind of one of those big questions you always have when you run.
Well, yeah. You mentioned it on that ascent. Now they shift over onto the attack. They have that critical piece of utility, that stupid wall that they could use in a post-plant. So we'll see if they're going to be able to, if they can get into those positions very comfortably and quickly. Then yeah, the deadlock Q-Tilt absolutely can make things a living nightmare for the side of the DRX.
And even if you can get mid-control on this map, it's really annoying as the defenders, because you can either cut off mail or vents for the rotation. So there's a little bit more that the deadlock wall can actually do on this map on the attacker side before you get to post plants, in theory. Just a matter of how far can GE get against some of this aggression that you would expect DRX to be throwing. Ooh, that's a lot of damage to free.
That it is. Quickly panicked. Sends out that suppressed drone and flashback out from heaven, able to find one. Yurtan Patrick Hu, however, trading up. Themselves in with the advantage. Patrick Hu tagged up down to 50 HP. Mako. He does it again. Plants are dead. Spike now being ushered all the way into the back corner here.
You can see him.
Hyunmin, yep, not catching a glimpse of either, it would seem here. Both players not noticing as Mako will be taken down. Now the approach coming through. Hyunmin narrowly able to survive.
10 HP, 10 HP, 10 HP, 10 HP, 10 HP.
Straya, lion's share of this round going to be on his back for his team. Crystal now tucked away. Completely quiet. Strikes, finding one.
Let's go!
And finding the other. 3 kills here for the Fade. Global tie things up 2-2 in pistols. They regain the lead.
Syndicate.
Yeah, this is just a good coordinated effort. Who was it that dropped down there? It was Flashback to try to back up freeing. Don't know if I agree with that play there. Got a little ambitious. You know, felt like maybe they were going to be able to shut that attack down, but Patrick Hu got pretty deep pretty quick. Kind of set things pretty off balance in terms of what angles you were going to be able to deal with. And GE was quick to capitalize. Very well thought out. Drx fought back a bit. Mako, as always, good for kills through smokes. But wasn't enough this time. No buy up at all to speak of for DRX.
Yeah, zoom in, zoom out कर रहा है भाई. Control.
It's got to be in the back of your mind is GE.
Control
Ah! Bye bye.
Oh.
Elimination found there. Patrick Hu. Oh, getting
Collateral!
locked up. Estrella down to 13 off the back of that. Slide in from Flashback is going to be good for a kill. Is freeing.
क्या बम बढ़ गया रे? इधर से U-turn लेके गया वो.
But now it is just Estrella.
अभी पूछ के आता हूँ बोल के.
Very low on HP, with not much more to be done.
Test HP.
Delay there for Poppy, able to go ahead and get the jump. So 2 casualties. Not much loss in the way of economics. So Global close out a relatively clean anti-eco. Now go into their bonus.
Timeout नहीं चाहिए अब अपने को.
It's looking pretty decent.
Timeout को अपन
Bulldogs, a
चाहिए.
Guardian, and a Phantom, I think.
अरे उसके पाँव पे खाया.
Good value out of the Marshal there. Couple quick kills for
देख,
DRX.
देख,
They
वो
spring
boomer
into
तो नहीं थे
action
तुम लोग?
off of
यहाँ
contact.
गया.
Try to do it
फिर
they
ऐसा
can
है
with the
घूम के
classic.
ऐसे गया फिर से. बूमर साला नखरेबाज है.
Let's win the map.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, for what it's worth, Kelly S does a great job just always staying positive, being vocal. You can hear him up here in the caster booth. Who's freeing?
Not eating any damage this time around. Straight up.
ऊपर चढ़ के बैठा है भाई.
Sit up over the top here.
मारो! Let's go! अब एक आ गया.
And it's going to be a 1-for-1. Blast pack across. Patrick Hu, though, eating an immense amount of damage on entry.
वो नेड के ऊपर
So
से
it's a
कूदते
very
गया है.
easy cleanup for Hyunmin.
Oh, I love this. Freeing, aware that they had given up this space, using the drone to clear it. He's going to get the spot on the crystal, too. That's so heads up.
Just a drift back here from Flashback.
बच गया.
Not over challenging for the fight. Freeing eyes in towards that A heaven position as they come up to the fence.
1-2, 1-2.
Flashback gets positioned here on the rafter, just on that corner. Drops down, makes some noise though.
हो जाए.
Not
One
the
tap,
silent drop.
one tap, one tap.
Intentional or not, hard
करके
to
one
say.
tap, one tap, one tap मारो, सिर पे मारो.
Global esports are very much pinned in place.
They're really trying to get some kind of read, waiting for this haunt to come back up before they make any moves. They're trying to just throw some util to sell a fake.
They just took the time to go ahead, double clear into garage. Now Unitron had spotted, taken off.
नहीं मारना है.
Grab net, not able to find anything there. And Kelly S flushed over towards this side of the pillar. The spike still in hand, needing to clear this out. Cannot find it.
Spike down.
Spike will be down. The round will come to a conclusion. The bonus conversion not on the cards here as DRX bringing things back, being damn close. 1 round separating as Spring will find the final kill.
बोनस था ना.
Just really aggressive towards mid this time, but DRX so good about understanding when and where players could be. That one from Australia, you can't really blame him on. You're just anticipating, you know, one of their players, whether it be one of the Sentinels or Poppy, is going to maybe try to challenge that angle. So you're trying to use that as kind of a catch that solo lurking player off guard. Instead, there's 3 there. He at least is trading 1 out. That's not bad in that situation. But really, for me, freeing there with that timely stealth drone is what really allowed DRX to settle in comfortably there in the mid round. Very, very heads-up play from him. Flashback seems to be on perma mid duty. Backed off by the util. Just to pull out the grab net.
Fine for the moment. We're just fishing where possible, trying to see if they can catch anything here for free.
कूदते रहे बेटे. एक दिन तेरे को कोई ना कोई तो चाड़ा मारता है.
B main. Nobody's really watching that for Global Esports. There's just a smoke there to keep him at bay.
Please मार दो. Smoke पे! Patrick भाई smoke पे! Smoke पे Patrick!
Drop, flashback, sending the relay bolt, just looking to try to just hold back this line. Keep them protected for Gunman, who swings in, almost has him lined up, but only going to be good for one. Looking for the transfer there is Flashback. He cannot. It's going to be Poppy coming away with two. Looks for a little bit more, but freeing in from behind, able to go ahead and find the punish, and now Yuratan
1v2 कैसे बच रहा है
find his way back across through the fence.
Double stack this. Really smart from Drx.
30
Smoke
seconds left.
set up. I mean, he has a cam. He can throw it out, maybe, but I don't think he's going to get much of a glimpse here.
Still a paranoia too.
Some stray shots to connect. And as he goes for the swing, Estrella is there, the off angle. We are tied up at 8-8.
चलो equalizer
Global going to be knocked back economically. Some attempts, another attempt here at a Thrifty, pulled off the previous one. This will be a critical one to win.
I mean, the timing there, not bad from Flashback. Almost transferred over for the second. Freeing quick to react through the vents. Get over. Find that extra kill. Poppy's still busy watching B Heaven. Yeah, Outlaw for Flashback. Also has the ult to back it up. Overdrive is there.
मार दो
So what do you wanna do?
तुम लोग मारो ए
Gap in the smoke.
Second shot going to go a little bit wide. Still Crystal taken down. There's Yuratan swinging from main. Little bit of damage found on the Mako, but
9
Mako
10
wins those. Free peek from Flashback. Quick little reload. Getting out. Kelly S through the smoke is able to go ahead and put the outlaw on the floor.
और एक 2-3 को मारो
Pushed it, more damage they're going to be able to find.
भिल्लू भिल्लू मारो खत्म हो जाता मसला
I mean,
भिल्लू
it's one
भिल्लू
of those
मारो
weird
खाली
situations for
पकड़
Kelly S. You
Keep
can upgrade, get another kill.
दो
Could
को मारो
send an
उससे
annihilation, and all of a sudden it's a 2v2. Still a chance for Global Esports for sure. Free gun. It's a bit of noise though.
नींद आ रही अब तो ऐसा फर्स्ट में जो
It's
गेम
like
प्ले
it was
खेले
intentional
ना
to sell, like they were trying to go towards A.
अनबिलीवेबल
Outlaw scooped
I
up
want
for
one
Poppy.
अरे इंडियन टीम एक ऐसी हो
Gunman still has the
वन
paint
सेट
shells.
डोमिनेशन जो भी खेल रही जिधर भी खेल रही
Just waiting it out
30
quietly
seconds
here.
left.
दिखा
DRX, they have to know that this weapon's going to be picked
Saw.
up. But, you know,
देखो
there's a spot out.
वैसा देखना है रे इंडिया
Paint shells, salvos,
इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम देखो वैसे
everything being chucked up here in towards heaven.
फाइनल्स
As the
तक तो
clock hits
पहुंचती
15 seconds
वैसा वाला।
remaining.
फिर तो सपना
Being able to just
साकार
get
है
the
भाई
plant would be nice here for the side of Global to get that money. This Freeing going to be pushed off the angle. They're out into the open. Shots are getting whiffy, but okay. Eventually, stability found.
एंटी
An extra casualty picked up there for the side of Global Esports, but DRX close out the round and now regain the lead 9-8.
I'm just so impressed with the way that DRX is so communicative and the way that they know when not to fight. Like so many teams you'll see when they're in an advantage in a 4v2 and the players will get overconfident and they'll push. In this situation, you know, the players from DRX, Freeing and company, they're backing up while they're allowing the players from A to rotate over so they can really all collapse together onto those last two players of Global Esports. Don't give them any chances. Doesn't matter if you're up against an eco, play it correctly every time. And that's something that DRX does so well. And it makes it very difficult to get those, you know, 2vx's or 1vx wins against them. It does happen, of course, but the way they play it is so textbook. Global Esports coaching staff, Darion in there today as well with Elevated, trying to help his
यूज कर लिए लोग
new coach out,
DRX
new
का
head
अभी तक
coach
एक भी
out.
नहीं हुआ है
Ah,
अगर कमबैक हुआ यार
first time in 2 years, after 2 years, to see DRX and GE.
इडली और चटनी चम्मच भी थे साथ में
We talked about how important this one could be here for GE.
Yeah.
You know, a win.
Sambar de rahe ho.
You're in a
Sambar
great
hai.
spot to make it into the
Sambar.
playoffs. If not already, I
Sambar
don't
hai
think they wouldn't lock, but it would
Close.
be a very good spot, yeah. And it would basically come down to them in Paper X.
Yep.
So you win that series, and then
Rolex
you're
ka
in.
banaya kya?
Now, a loss here would make that
Rolex
series
banaya.
versus Paper X an absolute must-win.
You got a ton of firepower for
Focus
DRX in this round. Gunman's on the op, has a showstopper. Crystal's been really good in these situations. We've seen this a couple times where
पानी
he's
लेके आ नहीं फ्रिज में रखा
able to outduel these operator players.
There's going to be a lot more pushing in
पानी
towards
लेके
him.
फ्रिज में रखा
Sends out the blast pack. This keep the op hidden here for the moment. The shots ringing out.
मारे इसको.
He's connecting. Wow, wow, not ready for that timing, and now it's going to be Armageddon coming their way. Just shoves them back. He's not looking for kills. He's just looking to create some space. Space is created. Freeing immediately just tucks back to the opposite side. They'll abandon the spike. They'll maybe allow it to be recovered. There's op shot ringing out. Not going to be finding much there. Spike now in hand. Crystal picks it up. Just forward towards heaven. Bring back out over onto the Raptor. 30 seconds remaining. They're going to try to go for a pivot here. That spike right now being just sprinted through the sewer across the map. B site opened up. Estrella, however, nearby. Cosmic Divide's going to be sent.
Patrick!
Swings out. Gunman going to be absolutely dunked on. Showstopper now in play. Paranoia sent here from Estrella, getting the catch on it. Crystal just slowing them up, and I mean, it's already over. The spike is on the floor. This round has gotten away from them in Estrella. The taps are clean at the end. But they were dead before he pulled the trigger.
Yep. That's a toughie there for Global Esports. Just a great back and forth with Hyunmin and Freeing here. And even with that seize, God, that's so good. And that immediately sets up the ult. I thought he might use the salvos, because I think they were just coming back into cycle to try to catch him as they went back towards the sewers, but instead he used it just to hold his ground, essentially, allow him to rotate back up to heaven, allow Flashback to get over, allow them to swarm that site. Mako tucked behind the box, got a spot, got out of dodge, seemed to sense that C's coming.
Trying to scale forward. I mean, Patrick, who was just sent in, I think, unassisted into mid, ends up getting absolutely massacred. Just trying to change up the pace, catch someone off guard.
This is
Drx are, yeah,
they're just
incredibly well poised
Yep.
to get to 11.
they're just toying with him there. Using that Tejo util to flush him right into the shotgun. He's gonna go at him.
Why not? Runs him down. Flawless. Drx 2 away from locking in a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, it's just phenomenal team play from Drx. A lot of backing each other up, a lot of setting up selflessly your teammates.
Making
sure you're always making the high percentage plays.
को.
What else can you say? They're, as usual, very fearsome in Pacific. Thought, okay, what are we doing there?
एक जीत जाती रे
Pick a
रुको
gun.
ये मैच तो
Okay.
जीत पक्का लो.
I think he still has the judge on the ground behind him.
मैं भूख हड़ताल पे हूँ नहीं
So he's
जीती.
going to show the op.
I think it's worth taking the moment to again also say what a glow up from Flashback.
Yeah.
Remember the first time that he came out and he was playing duels and we were like, what in the hell is this?
Yeah.
That first half of Haven.
Oh, God. Yeah. Last year.
And then, no, this year.
Oh, this year.
Yeah.
Was it his first time on Duos this year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And we were just like, what is this? And then the second half roll around and he started looking better. And then every other series after that, it's just been incredible.
Timing.
Well, there's no doubt about his mechanics in my mind. He's always been very talented in that regard. Now he's got the decision-making behind it. And this is pretty interesting from Drx. They're giving up a lot of space here. They don't have a ton of info. They were playing for something aggressive. I think expecting something like this with the Nightfall.
Let's go!
Mako does get taken down, freeing, able to find one though, as Kelly S going to be dropped as the spike also lands on the floor. Showstopper out from Hyunmin, not finding much.
Let's go!
Patrick Coop maintain control there of elbow. Freeing will fall. It looks like there's still yet a bit more fight available here for the side of Global, but Flashback finds the headshot. Poppy going to be taken down, the overdrive in play, drops down off the top. Still has a really
Let's go!
It's going to be a big round for Patrick Coop to get Global another one under their belt. 9 locked in, 2 more to go to tie it up.
भूख हड़ताल. खाना नहीं खाएंगे guys. भूख हड़ताल.
This is a weird one from Drx for me. It seems like kind of an on-the-fly decision by Flashback. Picks up the op, has the judge, so he says, I can just hold down the B corner, and then they double stack mid. This is kind of the one part of the map that they left open, and GE's able to figure it out to deduce. Maybe just a little bit of lack of info or something like that. Nobody's playing aggressively towards A main. We've seen that a lot from Drx, and that might have been enough for GE to get the read that this was going to be the weak side. and they were able to punish it. Kind of some scuffy moments there as well for DRX players. Bring standing right in front of this door, just waiting to use the concuss, trying to set up Mako. Font gets cleared.
उसको read भी हो रहा है, वहीं आएगा बोल
More
के.
players from DRX on this side of the map.
This has to.
ऊपर है.
This looks gonna be picked off. Kelly S trying to swing in, but
Jeez.
Mako out from window, finding him. I mean, Patrick Koo, for a moment, I think he accidentally threw the weapon on the ground. Swapped them out. Does manage to grab the spike as Poppy finding one.
Nice one.
Opens up that B site, but
Chulu.
How do you get there?
not a clear pathway. Flashback, reading this incredibly well. Poppy doesn't swing back through
Hey,
right
hey.
now in that astral
आ
form.
गया उन्हें.
Oh, the timing. The re-peek. Flashback still suspicious and wins it out.
Timing रे.
Unbelievable.
And they're going to figure this out real fast because Mako
2v4.
sees it.
He hears them now. They're in range. And once again, the clock is just not on their side. No corpses. Try to utilize the peak flashback, able to find a third gunman. They're there to go ahead and finish the job.
NT.
12 to 9, DRX.
Patrick
Look to
Koo.
bring this series to a conclusion.
A lot more quick to react this round, our DRX. Some very good changes round around here in their mentality. Immediately, Flashback is on his horse to get over there with that operator to back up that A-side hold. Does a tremendous job with it. Even finds the
अब disqualify है क्या अपन?
onto
Guys.
Poppy there.
लौड़े लग गए अपने.
Huge moment.
Nice.
Huge performance on this Dion. Kind of questioning on split. Well, question's answered in my mind.
Well, quick readjust from Flashback, finds a shot.
मिला दो.
That's going to be set up, but he just plants his feet. They're trying to pre-fire his exit angle. He just stays still for so long. He's able to avoid the lion's share of damage being thrown at him.
I think he got caught by the grab.
Boombot just gets a bit there, a splash, a lick there onto Patrick Koo. But this right now feels like Global very much is trying to get, okay, I was going to say square peg into a round hole, but Patrick Koo will find one, so off now going to be on the floor, the Nero Theft. Hoping to lead the path. Showstopper going to be sent down. He'll not be found. One gets reveal on the two. Hyunmin still going to be low. It does get finished off. Mako is here on the site. Looking for a little bit more, but cannot make it happen.
लगाओ, plant लगाओ.
A second with the Stinger. Upgrades to the Vandal. The smoke gets ready to dissipate. Spike still not planted. Looking to try to fight their way forward. Freeing, able to find one.
Let's go!
Does end up getting dropped. Global Esports not going down without fight. Need 2 more rounds to take this into overtime.
As good as Flashback had been, that whiff up at B cost them. That's a great angle to take. He
OT
just
हो
doesn't
जाए.
hit the
मैं
shot.
खाना छोड़ के बैठा हूँ guys. OT हो जाए.
He had that fight isolated.
OT.
Wins it. He gets that. I think it's a very different round there because you don't have the showstopper to clear the site.
तगड़ा है, मानता हूँ.
Maybe
कड़क चीज है.
DRX is
लेकिन
able to
आपकी
hold the
ult
line a
एकदम
bit better.
पटी है.
Poppy's going to have his ult coming into the next round.
एक ult नहीं मारा आपने.
All right.
ले लो DRX.
First time out of the
पड़ गई
map for
तुम्हारी.
DRX.
मेरे को मालूम. DRX की.
Even when
भूख
that
हड़ताल पे अभी नहीं.
0-5
ठीक है, नहीं खा रहा हूँ.
streak was coming through from Global Esports. Didn't see Termi wanting to get involved, but seems like now he wants to make sure that they don't take this to any kind of overtime. For sure.
OP.
Another opportunity for Elevated to get in with the rest of the players here.
I'll be really curious
मेरी तो अंडा डाल रहे.
what the change-up might be. Maybe put a little bit more attention towards the extremities of the map. Seems to be
भाई माँ को भाई सिर्फ ऐसे.
at times a little bit of a pressure point, but we heard just a brief
बस.
kind of idea from Global Esports and their comms that maybe mid, although with Elevated coming through, might be different ideas for them as well.
कर दो
Seems like that's been a big
कर दो चटैक.
pressure point for Global Esports to try to push against DRX. You have some ults. Poppy has the Cosmic Divide. You have the Armageddon for
बमा
free.
डाल के घुस जाओ. बमा.
Still have rifles for DRX.
देखो.
It's going to be a little bit awkward if they can't get it done in this round for the next one. Try to close the map out.
Oh.
No
किले को
util
मारने को
to
पूरा
set that
अल्टो
up.
Well, I think they thought that they were going to be able to have the catch, that he wouldn't be able to get out.
When he's like right in the corner and he could just go to...
Yeah, but
Eko
he was
आने
able
को-
to just get away, so they get rid of that Armageddon that could be pivotal in getting, you know, a retake of a site going. Cosmic Divide in play. Kelly has simplified one. Mako going to be taken down. Estrella needing to try to hold the line here on the site. Hyunmin does come to his rescue, but gets tagged up down to
Nice one.
8 HP. Estrella, this is kill 3.
ऊपर
It's a massacre at his hands and freeing up over the top. He will just put him down 13 to 10. A bit of an odd finish here on Split, but DRX coming away with a 2-0 victory. And with that win, they have officially punched their ticket into the playoffs here at Stage 1 alongside Boom Esports.
Yeah, well-deserved for DRX. They continue to just steamroll teams. They are so solid in so many different ways. Macro, micro, fundamentals of the game. All very good for DRX. At Global Esports, we saw when they got to their map pick, they had some ideas. They had some punch in them. They had some fight back. Very nice to see, but in the long run, DRX still just, even when they're running stuff that doesn't feel very DRX,
Yeah.
it still kind of looks like it. It still has that same flavor, even though if it might be a bit of a different recipe.
It didn't feel very...
well played guys, congratulations DRX for qualifying. यार BME को हरा दो यार DRX
Want to make their way over to the playoff.
ठीक है disappointed. Okay guys, no worries. Thank you, that's it from my side today. हार के जीतने वाले को बारिश गुजर करते पैथेटिक बाबा. See you all. मजा आया तो नहीं, मजा नहीं आया, सच में मजा नहीं आया. क्या था भाई, इंडियन ओपी फिर भी सपोर्ट करते रहो भाई जी को. सेंटिनल्स का मैच कभी, सेंटिनल्स का मैच भी देखना है अपने को, ठीक है. तक थैंक यू. सी यू ऑल क्या 72 सब्सक्राइबर से एक सब्सक्राइबर तो आ जाओ यार, बेशर्म यार कहते तुम लोग. लाइक करके जाओ, ठीक है. वीडियो डालूंगा ये हफ्ते में एक तगड़ी सी. तब तक के लिए टेक केयर.